Hi everyone, I'm Aprajita. I work for Executive Client Summits and Ad Sales. And more importantly, I'm a passionate cook, a foodie, and also a big supporter of Askhaya Patra, a non-profit organization that enabled chefs visit here today. So thank you so much, Askhaya Patra, and thank you so much, Chef, for coming and visiting us at Google today. Before we start, I want to remind everyone to please be mindful of Chef's attendance here. He is a very special guest. We want to ensure that he has a very special experience here at Google. So while you can feel free to take pictures and videos while we are doing the talk, please don't jump up afterwards to ensue a selfie frenzy. You will have plenty of pictures from him here, and then we have videographers who will be recording the talk for you. Every one of us at Google likes to work on projects that work many different areas of our field, but also help billions of people. So all of our products, including Gmail, Search, Maps, YouTube, they touch billions of lives. But Chef Kapoor, you have touched billions of lives through their heart and into their stomach. So we are very, very happy to have you here and ask you some questions about yourself, your career, but also your involvement with Askhaya Patra. And I will share a story about myself, how I got involved with Askhaya Patra. So in 2009, I was visiting India. My parents live in Germany. They were also visiting. And one morning, my dad woke up at 6 o'clock, and he wakes me up. He's like, Aprajita, I need you to wake up and go somewhere with me. I said, it's 6 o'clock, Dad. Come on, I'm on a vacation. He said, no, I'll take you somewhere that will change your life forever. And I said, OK, fine. So I woke up. He took me to the Jaipur kitchen of Askhaya Patra. They have a facilities in the outskirts of Jaipur, very large facilities. And he gave me a tour of the kitchens there and of all the people that work there every single day. And he made me meet the leadership team there. They were telling me about their cause and what all they've been doing to take Askhaya Patra to where it is today. The one thing that struck me is that everybody working over there was so selfless. They weren't doing it for their own good, but they were doing it for the for the good of the kids that are served these Askhaya Patra meals. This is an organization that has its presence in over 11 states now. They feed 1.6 million children every single day across India. And the only reason is, if kids come to school and get that free meal, the parents are willing to send their kids to school. So there's no child labor anymore. And the kids get a nutrition meal and get their education throughout, until they graduate. A lot of those case studies have actually now started to get their first jobs and are volunteering back with Askhaya Patra. So that's how my story evolved and how I got involved, and ever since I've been a supporter of this cause. But I want to know from you, how did you get involved in Askhaya Patra? When did you hear about it?
Right. Thank you, Aprajita. Good morning, everyone. So she's a passionate cook. I'm passionate and a cook. Okay. And so my story with the Askhaya Patra. See, Askhaya Patra is as I know this this bowl that is there. It's in our had heard stories of this, that it's a pot which never goes empty and all of that. So when I heard of Askhaya Patra, I said, okay, I have to know what is it being used for? What is it? It's a great branding thing. It was something which was perfect, but what are these guys doing? So I came to know, okay, this is what they do. And then I was involved with midday meal program of government, and they wanted me to do something about the food, how to make it healthy, what kind of calories, what nutrition, grammages, and all of that. So I was doing that. And then there was ISKCON. They were doing their bit. And they were moving in all different directions. And I would say, oh, wow, everyone is doing this. So whatever I could do, I would talk about this little bit, and but in a very unstructured way. And I realized that as I started to grow my businesses, that food has given me so much. Whatever I have, it's thanks to power of food. So if that is the importance of food, so people ask me, what does food mean to me? And I say, food is my life. That's what it is. So if it is so important, then I have to make sure that I have to do more, use the power of food in a more meaningful way. So we started doing things on our own, which so we would feed at times some schools randomly, maybe someone's birthday, so we'll go and donate some food. We'll do all that. Then from there we grew on to donating to a bigger, in a more consistent way, on monthly way, and all of that. And then while we were taking our baby steps, I started to notice that Akshaya Patra was doing things in a more systematic way. And what caught my eye and attention was that here was an organization which was doing, which had a great set of people who were managing it, leading it, and doing it in a very structured way, which because I know the size of the problem. So when I saw that, and I saw the numbers, that caught my attention, that one child can be fed for 1 full year for $15, which means that you have the power, here let's say, I'm sure all of you have this power to adopt at least 200 kids, which means $3,000 in a year. Adoption of 200 kids? Is that the power that all of us here have? Fantastic. That's something. So when I saw that they have kept all the costs so low, and it's there's one way of managing costs in a very frugal way, but the other thing is bringing in efficiencies. I think that's what Akshaya Patra does. So I started to understand a little bit more. So about couple of years ago, there's a brand that I endorse. They did a marketing tie-up with Akshaya Patra, that's sugar-free. And that's where I met the CEO, Sridhar, and he invited me and says, you must come to Bangalore, which I did, but I was keeping a track. I knew what was happening. And last year, my wife's friend, she is at the Houston chapter. She contacted her and says, we would like to do some fundraising using Sanjeev, so would it be okay? So as soon as she spoke to me, and both of us said, no, this is something that we have to do. And once we did that, and that's where we met Vandana, and we talked about it, and here we are again trying to do this, because what we realized that we do multiple businesses, but if I were to say numbers wise, the contribution, so, and this is something which I normally say in India, that we in India have not learned the art of giving well. We are not great givers. We have to learn it from America. The Americans have learned the art of giving very well, much better than what we do. But the dichotomy here was that when I got the numbers, I realized in Akshay Patra's case, actually numbers of India are much bigger.
Yeah.
And US is very good, but I think the total impact that this country can have over Akshay Patra in terms of contribution can be manifold.
I think the credibility also comes from the fact that Akshay Patra is also partly government funded. So there's this stamp of credibility that's actually a genuine organization, and it's regarded by our government as something worthy enough to contribute to. So that adds to people wanting to do that as well.
Yeah, I think the credibility comes from kind of people, the kind of, I think the set of people that are all involved with Akshay Patra, they are highly credible people. So I think it's something where I would say that Akshay Patra's credibility, I would say, is higher. So I think it's a win-win It's a win-win where the midday meal program, where it was not something, it even today it happens without Akshaya Patra in a few states, a few places, not everywhere it's done through Akshaya Patra. But wherever it is done with Akshaya Patra, it's done more effectively, more efficiently. So I think it's other way around, if you ask me.
So your Akshay Patra is lending credibility to our government.
Completely. I can say that. It's not, I will not shy away from saying it.
No, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Right? And we do have a donation booth set up there. So if you can give up 3 Starbucks coffees a year, you can sponsor a child. So think about that as you leave the room.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. At first they said, the maths does not add up. How does it work?
I was shocked when I first learned about $15. Like I gave out $15 for parking or coffees and small things like this.
The kind of things, and that can be a life-changing moment for someone. Is because what I believe is that all of us want to do more than what we are doing today, and that's what I see. But we don't get opportunities, or as I call excuses, which are around us. We don't get. It's not. I've seen. I have 2 daughters. I know that. So we came here, and she studies in UK, and I was talking to her. I said, "Oh, your flight reached early. You could have taken an earlier bus." She's about 2 hours away from London, and she said, "Yeah, Dad, I could have, but I was helping someone. She's an old lady, and I don't want to rush her. I want to do it, so I'll take my bus. It's okay. It's fine. She's 19 years old, and so I know that all of us we want to do our bit, but we don't get enough chances."
They always say it's in giving that we receive, and I think that's a really good edit for. The more you give, the more you get for yourself. Not in monetary terms, but there's something that changes inside you, which is amazing.
Definitely. It's more fulfilling, yes. Always. And when we talked about it yesterday, and I say the joy of giving is much more than joy of receiving. That's what is there. It's but I also said this, and I'm again going to say this: you can't take credit for this. This is a natural human instinct. Okay, like we have instinct to survive. The instinct to get joy by receiving is natural to humans. Okay, so you don't take credit for it. Okay, so that is. Only thing is that if you don't get it, if you don't get that natural instinct of that, where the joy of giving is much more than joy of receiving, it's a human instinct. So if you don't have it, think about it.
Great. Then let's move on to talking about your outstanding career. I hate to generalize, but normally what happens in India is you're growing up, your parents give you 2 choices. You can either become a doctor or an engineer. How did you, and I'm neither of those 2, sure. But how did you break loose of that mold, and how did you get inspired and maybe even rebel a little bit against that culture and become who you are?
So I didn't give that chance to my parents.
Great.
No, so fortunately my parents always believed in us in terms of whatever we wanted to do. We had that freedom. We were never under any kind of pressure that, okay, do this, this is what you have to do. And yeah, of course, all parents, they want their kids to do well. So when, naturally when I was studying, so doctors or engineer at that time, these were 2 things. So at that time, actually, doctor was little higher, engineering was a little lower. Okay, so I still remember in ninth standard, I said, okay, doctor it is, because if you're good in studies, that's what
I can
you
reach
would be.
that level.
Yeah, it's not difficult. So so there was an assignment, and we were asked to draw electron microscope in our biology class. And what I drew was the best in the class. Fantastic. I was so proud of it. So I showed it to the teacher, thinking that now this is where I'll get the appreciation. And he did not even look at me. He looked at that. He had a red pen, and he put label it. In my excitement, I had not labeled it. This is this lens, this is this. I had not done that. I was so upset. I said,
That was the end of your medical career.
that was end of. Otherwise, you would be interviewing Dr. Kapoor here. Okay? Yeah, you'd definitely be
Well,
interviewing.
I'm so glad that was the end of your medical career.
So that was out of the way. So now I had to make that choice. So okay, little lower. So no biology, because I'm not going to study biology. So what else? Engineering drawing. So I studied engineering drawing instead. Again, did well. Engineering. Okay. No, this is not what I want to do. Why? Because it's very predictable. It's predictable that this is what you would do, this is what. So by that time I had grown enough to rebel, to say that I will do something that no one in our family, no one in our neighborhood, none of my friends should have done that. So I just, in school class, everyone, so there are people who are typecast that, oh, you are good in studies, you will do IIT. So I was the IIT type. Okay. So I said, oh, no IIT. So I did not appear for the entrance exam. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Not this, but don't know what to do. So did I know cooking? Did I know who a chef was? Had no clue. Knew nothing about it. So just started to understand what I would do. Then I said, okay, let me become an architect.
Wow.
So did some research. There's an institute in Delhi, School of Planning and Architecture, SPA. This entrance, I went for that entrance, and they used to take about 18, 20 students every year all over India. I said, that's a good chance. Okay. Now, little did I know that I would be waitlisted there. Oops. So there's only one choice that I've made. So I wanted to do something which was creative, be an architect. Only one place that I applied, School of Planning and Architecture. Uh-oh. Bad call. Now Sanjeev Kapoor, very good student, everything, has engineering. So Delhi used to have a college which was not, at that, till that year, there was no entrance exam. Delhi College of Engineering, DC. So I could get on merit. I said, engineering करनी थी तो IIT से करते.
Missed opportunity.
Right? Why would I do it? So no, engineering, no way. So I had nothing. So there was, I didn't even know. So it was a case of being too smart, right? So I was left with nothing in my hand. A brilliant student, somebody who could have gone into IIT, and so all my friends, अब पता चला इसको, right? बहुत शाना बनता है, right? Okay. Well, anyway, so didn't have anything. A friend of mine, he wanted to do this hotel management. Hotel management back then, actually even now also I think, to some extent, is meant for people who are good for nothing. कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
In our family used to say, हाँ bed बनाना सीख रहे हैं.
हाँ मतलब कुछ भी ऐसे. Somebody जिसको मतलब कुछ नहीं कर सकते तो वो ये कर लेगा, right? So वो बेचारे ने वो करना था. मेरा उसने एक फॉर्म भर दिया वैसे ही कुछ करके, and somehow I also went, and naturally they asked me, they looked at the marks, why are you wasting our time? You will not join here. I said, this is what I have always wanted to do, right from my childhood.
That's how you convince people,
Yeah.
yeah.
So right from my childhood, this is what I wanted to do. I had no clue. I had no clue what it was. And so this friend of mine, Jasbir, he was very keen to get in. I got admission, he did not. Oh, he's doing very well. Don't feel bad about it. Okay. So he, in some sense, helped me with this. I took admission and I said, kuch to alag karna hai, that's what I wanted to do. Got into this, but even that time there was nothing about being a chef or cooking. So after I got into the institute, again, did well. And then again I said, kuch to alag karna chahiye. So nobody wanted to be a chef. So hardly any, so people who could not get into the mainstream, they were garib log matlab chef bante the types. I became by choice. So I just did that, and somewhere I guess since I was probably rebelling, कि जो सब लोग कर रहे हैं मैं नहीं करूँगा, that probably helped me, and
the rest is history, ऐसे है यार.
I don't know, वो तो शुक्र है, मतलब successful हो गए, नहीं तो 5 साल बाद होटल में नौकरी करने के बाद में my brother one day he called me and he says, बैठ जा. So I used to go to hotel at 7 o'clock in the morning, come back at 2 in the night, no day off, nothing, working so much, not getting anything, and he was a chartered accountant. So उसने मुझे बिठा के बोला, कहता है क्यों टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, सीए कर ले तू. And I'm saying, I said, I'm a science student, नहीं तू तो कर लेगा, which was a fact. I said हाँ, but मैं कहा नहीं ये तो अभी 5 साल हो गए हैं, I would have wasted 5 years in that field. I'll not be happy with that. But yeah, I actually thought about it one whole night. Maybe I've made a mistake. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? But I think luck also helps the brave, I guess. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing your long and very successful journey.
Thank you.
मैंने यहाँ आने से पहले we were having coffee with Chef and I asked him if all questions are game. He said yes, if I'm also game for that.
Yeah.
So my next question is about a story that I had heard. जब आप अल्यूना जी से मिले थे, your lovely wife, so there was some struggle to convince her parents to let her marry you because you were a chef, and back then, as you said, it was not an engineer or a doctor. तो आपने ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ बनाई जिससे उनके पेरेंट्स कन्विंस हुए पहले तो?
एक तो ये पहले सोचो कि ये कहाँ से स्टोरी मिली होगी, उन्होंने गूगल किया होगा.
नहीं मैंने आपके सारे शो
और सारी चीजें इसका मतलब है सच नहीं होती उसमें, राइट? तो इस स्टोरी बिल्कुल सच नहीं है.
ओके.
Okay, her sister was a chef, so there was no trouble. Her sister married a Catholic guy. There was struggle. मुझे तो कोई टेंशन ही नहीं हुई.
Okay, so there was no struggle there. Okay,
तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम किसकी है? गूगल जी महाराज. तो इन्हें कहा था कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, कुछ भी पूछो, कुछ भी सुनने की भी हिम्मत रखना. So
we always love feedback.
Correct. So I didn't have to. I had no struggle actually.
Okay.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं हुई ऐसी मुझे, because that's the background. So why people often ask this is because early on, जब मैं सर्फ एक्सेल का ब्रांड एम्बेसडर था, अब मैं एरियल करता हूँ. So there was an ad where they wanted her as well. Okay, part of that script was so she says that what was it?
पापा ने कहा कुक से शादी.
हाँ, पापा ने कहा कुक से शादी करोगे. So actually her dad said, I never said that. So I never said that. He said, Dad, it's just a story. It's an ad. It's not real. Okay.
But that just shows that ads work. It becomes reality for some people.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, the real story.
Yeah.
In general, there's this image, about, as you said, that chefs didn't used to be as highly regarded until you came around and people started, हाँ, मेरा बच्चा भी संजीव कपूर बनेगा, right? So how has that changed over the years in India, and with the new crop coming up, how do you feel people are being encouraged to take that up as a serious career option?
Oh, fortunately, times have changed. So when my first job in a hotel, I was actually asked by GM of the hotel. I'd gone to meet tour leader that was of a group checking into our hotel. So I'd gone to meet, and our reception was in the lobby area. So I'd gone from kitchen there, and GM of the hotel was standing there, and he actually said, "Yes, chef." I said, "Sir, I have come to meet the tour leader to ask what they want to eat." no, but you can't be in the lobby. So it's not second-hand information, it's first-hand, where I was actually asked by the GM of a hotel that chefs are not allowed to be in the lobby of the hotel. Okay, so that was sad. That was not something, but I rebelled. I said, okay, now whatever I could do, I would change. I fought really hard to do that. वो बात अलग है कि अब किचन में शेफ कम मिलते हैं अब बाहर ही ज़्यादा मिल रहे होते हैं जहाँ देखो so I often say this in India especially that कभी-कभी किचन में भी काम करा करो बेटा ये मतलब so people now don't want to be a chef. They often, sir, how can we be a celebrity chef? I said there's nothing as a celebrity chef. It's the work that you would do should be celebrated. It's not you cannot become so. But no, it's a change. I'm glad that that change has happened. It's not happened in a rush. I can tell you. It has taken. It's been a very long time. It has taken, and it's even now. It's not that easy. I can tell you. Mm. So 2 weeks ago, so I was awarded the Padam Shri by President of India, and so I decided that I would wear chef's uniform for that. Mm-hmm. But the invitation that was there, it said national dress.
Okay.
Okay. So now, what do you do? What do you wear? It's because it's the invitation, that's what, and it's a protocol, you have to follow that. So I asked them, and they say, yeah, if it says national dress, it's national dress. So I said, okay, what happens when these awards and all are given to uniformed services people, kind of, let's say military and army, navy, and so no, that's they get decorated on their uniform.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm going to wear my chef's uniform, and आपने मना करना हो तो मना करके देख लेना मुझे.
निकाला तो नहीं
नहीं किसी ने नहीं निकाला किसी ने. No, not at all. So it is it takes time, but yeah, we'll get there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, from not knowing what to do in your career to becoming Padma Shri Sanjeev Kapoor ji. So tell us a little bit about what are the qualities in a chef that you think are really important. I mean, it sounds like it's not something that is born, right? You can develop that talent. Yeah. But is it the right ingredients? Is it the right cookware? Is it the right mindset? Like what for you makes a perfect chef?
Somebody who's involved with Akshay Patra. No, the reason that I'm here is Akshay Patra. So people who have come in now, we have to raise lots of money for Akshay Patra, and that's we talked about it. It only takes $15 per year to feed one child, and the 1.6 million kids a day is a staggering number. And as Sandeep yesterday mentioned, it's only we are feeding 1.5% of the total need that is there in India. So imagine what the need is. So one needs a lot of money to grow. So please do your bit. Okay. Coming back to your question, I think in any profession, the ingredients are same. It's not they don't work any differently. Mm-hmm. So whether it's knowledge, whether it's hard work, but what I have realized, the biggest thing is which we normally don't quantify, we don't say, we don't factor that in, is the value system. That's all the things that we learned from our parents, families, all the good things, all the boring things. that's something which you say, oh, what is this? I think that is probably one of the most important things in any success.
Especially in cooking, I think it's a generational thing, right? I learned cooking from my mom. But आज भी like there's certain things I stand right next to her when she's cooking. I write down everything she does. I follow her instructions. But जब बनता है ना तो उनका 21 होता है और मेरा 19 होता है.
Oh, she's just a better cook. Face it.
I completely. Oh God, yes she is. Yes she is. Her rasgullas always turn out spongier than mine. There is something about it, but you're right. There is something that is not quantifiable that just comes with.
Yeah.
Like
So
experience
these
or-
are experience, and also see, we talk of energies, right?
Yeah.
So same is the case in cooking. So you cook with positive energy, it'll come out well. It's a known thing. वो माँ के हाथ का खाना बोलते हैं ना, mothers. So she exactly knows who she's cooking for. You can never get that in restaurant food.
Yes,
Never
never.
you would get it. So, but on especially younger people who want to become chefs. So there are two things. One is the skills, because it's a job of skill, right? So they have to perfect the skills, and with that surround a big layer of knowledge. So get great skills, have great knowledge, and then wrap that around with great value system. So if you get these three things right, skill, knowledge, and value system, you can be a great chef, easy.
Great, thank you. So you've done so many things in your career in addition to just being an amazing chef, and I had to make a list and write it down because I would forget all of those things. Some of them are, you own over 75 restaurants, starting with the Yellow Chili, I believe. You have your own cookbook series. You own a ready-to-cook meal line. You have your own food TV network. You have hosted many TV shows. You are a brand ambassador for kitchen brands and for Ariel, as I learned. You introduced a culinary art course at Symbiosis in Pune. You have cooked for the Indian Prime Minister. You have designed an airline menu, and you have been approached by the Indian Railways to design their menu as well. How can you wear all these hats and still do justice
Hold
to
on,
all of them?
I don't get paid so much. I'm still highly underpaid.
You should
I
call
should
your
be, yeah.
accountant
I
brother
know,
and
what
ask
is this?
what's going on.
What's going on? This is, I feel highly underpaid now.
Yeah. And this
My
is
God.
just some of those.
Yeah.
There were more
I was working on
accomplishments.
weekend also. What
Yeah.
is this? Not fair.
So how do you do all of that and doing justice to all of them at the same time?
I don't know. I don't think about these things. I just do it. I don't over intellectualize things. I think I just take one day at a time, and I say that this is the most important thing now.
Be in the moment.
Yeah. So that's how I deal with it, and you can only do it if you have a great team with you.
Right.
So. Starting with my wife to all our activities and everything that we do. So, so you mentioned about Indian Railways. So there's a big meeting in Delhi with the team of Railway Ministry and everyone. So one of our chefs has traveled from Mumbai. Actually, I had suggested that because we have chefs in Delhi, somebody, no, we want to send someone senior, we want to do that. I said, okay, fine, whatever you want to do. So we have good...
So you have a good network of chefs that can also pitch in.
Our company, we are fortunate to have good people, talented, good value system. That's very, very important to us. So, yeah, I think because of that, it just happens.
So I believe your journey or your mainstream celebrity journey started at Khana Khazana. Many of us know you because of Khana Khazana. We've watched many, many episodes. You became a household name through that. We've seen what happens on TV, but tell us a fun behind the scenes story. कभी तो ऐसा हुआ होगा कि चीनी की जगह नमक डल गया हो या कोई चीज़ नहीं बनी हो सही से या क्रीम की जगह सावर क्रीम मेरे संग होता रहता है तो आपके संग भी कभी तो कुछ ऐसा हुआ होगा so tell us a fun story.
कोई अच्छे नहीं ढूंढ सकते जो खाना ठीक से बना लेते इंटरव्यू मेरा करें.
नहीं इतना बुरा नहीं बनता है.
चलो कोई नहीं कभी नहीं ऐसा हुआ. No, okay. No, always it can happen. It's not something which is, but okay, on TV. now this is unreal. I can't take credit for it, but it's. I've never cooked a dish twice.
Wow.
Never.
And all these shows
All these
never
years.
happened.
No, because the reason I'll tell you, because when we cook on TV, I do very simple dishes. I don't do something which is complicated. Okay? So because it's very simple, and I normally don't even plan. I just do whatever comes to my mind. We have lots of ingredients that are there, and I just cook. And the results are predictable. Namak डालेंगे नमकीन होगा, चीनी डालेंगे मीठा होगा. It's not something you can cook it here. It's not. And over the years, when you start to become popular, अगर ठीक नहीं भी बना हुआ होगा, तो लोग कहेंगे ऐसे ही होता होगा. Right? So people are kind.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Yeah.
So I went to Germany a few months ago, and my dad makes excellent malpuas.
Yeah.
So my sister wanted to eat malpuas. So instead of using cream, heavy whipped cream in the malpuas, उनसे गलती से फ्रिज में से sour cream डल गई उसमें. And we didn't know, and he didn't tell us, क्योंकि oops हो गया अभी खाओ. And when we ate them, they were the most fabulous malpuas I've had in my life.
Magic.
तो कभी-कभी गलती से भी अच्छी चीज़ बन जाती है.
हमारे साथ हमेशा गलती से ही बनती है. No, but so there was this show I was doing. It was a live cooking show. It was being done. There was a new product launch. So there's a company that was launching cookware made with glass. Okay, and in Mumbai there's a new mall. Mumbai's first big mall that opened was Crossroads. Crossroads. And so in their atrium, 500-600 people, there's a stage, and so I normally whenever I do any live sessions, I said, okay, you can ask me anything, just raise your hand, I'll answer anything that you want, and I'll do that. And as soon as we started, so there's the first dish that I was going to cook, so I talked about those pots made with glass, shiny, very nice. उसको हमने गैस के ऊपर रखा, switched on the stove, and somebody raised their hand, and they asked the question. I got busy with that, and I said, okay, come back to my cooking, and I was doing a soup, and I poured stock in that. As soon as I did that, it shattered big time. Now here, there's a new product launch. That company is doing that,
It's
and
live.
it
Explore it.
it happens, and there are 500 plus people happens live, but nothing happened. I said, you know what, great pans, fantastic, but everything you need to care. One, you cannot drop it; it will break. Second, when you are cooking like this, don't start answering questions no matter what. Okay? Fortunately, at home you don't do that, right?
So you have the presence of mind to mitigate that situation, get over it. Great. Awesome. So there's a saying, you are what you eat. And for us Indian, it's very hard to follow certain dietary precautions. Well, our food is so tasty, it's hard. There's all sorts of fried food, sweets, lots of carbohydrates. How do you think about food and health, and especially now as people are becoming more aware of South Asian diets and restrictions? How do you adapt your recipes to that?
I think it's easy. It's not. It's nothing to do with. It's nothing to do with kind of which region, geography, all that. In all parts of the world, there are certain healthy things. There are certain not so healthy things. There are some people who are healthier, there are some people who are not as healthy, some people who love to exercise, some people who don't. They exist everywhere. Indians are smart, okay? They're intelligent. So the things that they cannot do, they blame someone else. In this case, they blame food. इंटेलिजेंस की वजह से, नहीं तो खाने में थोड़ी कोई खराबी है, खराबी तो हम में है.
अब क्यों खाते हैं इतना ज़्यादा, राइट?
पता है अगर हमें कि ठीक नहीं है तो नहीं उतना खाना चाहिए. बट हम लोग की इंटेलिजेंस उसमें थोड़ी सी आई थी, बाकी लोगों को पता ही नहीं चलता, मतलब अपनी वो उसमें ही रह जाते हैं कि कार्ब में और इतना और 100 ग्राम्स और 25 ग्राम और ये और उसमें इसमें. So, but it's not difficult. Indian food, the way we eat at home, is one of the healthiest meal that you can have. It's very balanced. It is balanced for that geography, right? तो अगर आप वहाँ पर राजस्थान में रहते हैं और गर्मियों में हैं तो आप गर्मी के हिसाब से कपड़े पहनेंगे, राइट? अगर आप आ गए हैं 10,000 मील दूर पे आ गए हैं तो यहाँ के हिसाब से कपड़े पहनेंगे, यहाँ के मौसम के हिसाब से पहनेंगे, तो खाने में भी थोड़े बदलाव करना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो दैट यूज योर इंटेलिजेंस टू सी ये नहीं हम नहीं कर सकते, ओके भुगतो फिर, राइट? इफ यू कैन नॉट देन सवारी अपने सामान की खुद जिम्मेवार है, रेलवे में लिखा होता है. सो आप भी खुद ही जिम्मेवार है, देयर इज नो वन एल्स दैट यू कैन blame. So it is not difficult. All of us know. All of us know what is healthy, what is not. We know it. It's just that it's a choice that we make.
It's putting your mind to it. At the moment.
It is. It's not complex. It is not. मतलब हमें नहीं पता कि कितना खाना चाहिए, कितना. And good thing is our body gives us signals.
Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे हेल्थी से ज़्यादा पहले तो होता है कि वज़न बढ़ना शुरू होता है, राइट? ओवर द इयर्स वज़न बढ़ता है, हफ्ते में वज़न नहीं बढ़ता, महीने में वज़न नहीं बढ़ता, राइट? इट टेक्स सम टाइम, इट टेक्स 1, 2, 3 years एंड यू फील ये तो कम कर लो, नॉट मच, आई विल बी एबल टू लूज दिस, राइट?
वो हर महीने फिर यही बोलते हैं,
वही बोलते रहते हैं एंड देन वन डे यू डिसाइड एंड ओ माय गॉड अब बहुत हो गया बस, right? Now that day, that is the day that you decide, and that's the day that you want now instant results. That's the day you want drastic result. So if you want that, then put in that drastic effort also. If you do that, can you get that result? Of course you can. Of course you can.
We have you have gone through a major transformation. We have seen you on the shows. I mean,
no.
Major as
Okay,
in
let me tell you.
used to be-
That's एक मिनट. This is the first time you are meeting me. ये मैं पहले बता देता हूँ. So from when I started, okay, till when I started in hotels and now, from that weight I am 14 kilos more.
What?
Yes. Yes. When we when I started working, of course, when I started working, when you started seeing TV, one thing that you have not realized. So you're meeting me for the first time, right? I started TV almost 25 years ago, something like that. Okay. So, do you remember 25 years ago? Vikas, do you remember 25 years ago?
Yeah, we remember.
तो सर आपकी शक्ल तो वैसी लगी।
शक्ल नहीं छोड़ो। नहीं एक बार आप टीवी देखा तब
25 साल पहले तो नहीं देखा सर।
25 साल पहले किसने टीवी देखा
I always
आपने?
watch
एक
the
मिनट
shows.
so you
You
watch
are almost
no
right.
not me, आपका टीवी याद करो, ठीक है? कितना बड़ा टीवी था?
इतना ही बड़ा था।
अब कितना बड़ा है? अब बहुत बड़ा हो गया है, टीवी आपके बड़े हो गए हैं।
Good answer.
Not good answer, it's right answer.
तो मैं लोगों को बोलूँगी मुझे टीवी के थ्रू देखा करो बहुत।
हाँ, नहीं और बड़े दिखोगे याद रखना। So it's actually if you notice the earlier TVs they were not like this. It was 4:3, now it's 16:9. So what it does is it stretches. No kidding, I'm telling you. So you see that. So it feels, but yeah, do I put on weight and lose weight? So as compared to last 2 months, 3 months, I put on 5 kilos. Yes.
Okay, so all comes back to knowing what you're eating and
Yeah.
adjusting based on that. Yeah. Great, thank you. So you could be the best chef on the earth, and you likely are, but हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा होता है that you want to eat it made by somebody else. In my case, it's my mom's palak paneer. In your case, there must be some dish, and you can make everything, but still there must be some dish that somebody else cooks for you and you love that. Maybe it's Alyona ji. What is that one dish?
The curry that you mentioned.
Oh,
I'm
you're
waiting for
most
that.
welcome to come home tonight.
So she invited me. So मुझे घर पे लोग नहीं बुलाते. कि इनको बुलाएंगे तो क्या खिलाएंगे? What would we give him to eat, right? So I lose out on so many good invitations. So as soon as he said,
Yes.
I said, yeah, please. No, so I eat everything. There's nothing that I don't eat. I like to eat, and I eat everything. All kinds of cuisines, all foods, all tastes, khatta, meetha, tikha, namkeen, no matter what. I eat everything. So, but yeah, naturally, food that you like, it's actually more the memories. It's more nostalgia. It's more than the taste. It's that वो ढाबे में खाया था बड़ा ज़बरदस्त था. It's not.
और
It's
फिर
the
दोबारा
memories.
जाते हो अब तो वैसा नहीं लगता
The
है.
memories. So and normally it's with the family. It's so it could be again curry chawal made by my mom.
Yeah.
She makes very good masala dosa. She makes very good, and that's what she made for our entire family when our family met and went to her house.
Wow,
Yeah, so even now I can eat that.
nice. Hence your love for dosas that you were just telling us about.
That is correct.
Awesome. All right, then you mentioned you have two daughters,
Yes.
and one is in the UK. Is the other one studying as well?
Yeah, she just finished her law from
Great.
Mumbai, from Pune. Yeah, so
Any culinary skills being passed
both
on
of them
to
are
your
very
daughters?
smart.
Yeah.
So I said, इतने लोग बोलते हैं कि तुम लोग भी कुछ ये कर लो. Dad, don't worry, we'll manage your businesses and we'll hire chefs. So
Great. So they're going to help you in some way or the other. That's
yes.
good. That's good.
No, they even now they do.
Fantastic. With that, my last and very important question for you. So at Google, we always say, in God we trust, everybody else bring data. So I brought some data points for you. In the Bay Area, there are over 300,000 Indian Americans. That's more than 7.5% of Indian Americans in the entire United States. So when are you planning to open your first restaurant in the Bay Area?
Okay. Let's see. No, actually somebody asked me yesterday, also you are opening somewhere in Santa Clara, right? I had no clue. But no, we are opening one in LA soon. And so that will be our first yellow chili. So we have multiple brands. Yellow chili is our, my team does not like it, but I say it all the time. It's a cheap and cheerful brand. Sasta sundar tikao, khao aur jao. So we are starting with that, and our most premium is Signature by Sanjeev Kapoor, and that we are actually planning one in Houston.
Okay.
So last when we were gala that we did last time in Houston, so there's somebody who's been in touch with us and very keen to do a signature in Houston. So in this part also, I'm sure.
I mean,
we will
there's
do.
an audience for both, for the Sasta Sundar
Of
Tikao
course,
and the
of
high-end
course,
one. So
of
whatever
course.
you decide
No,
to
we'll
do
do
will
both.
be successful.
हमारे और भी बीच में brand है, सब करेंगे. Don't worry. No, let me be very honest. Many of my friends, they would always say that ये अमेरिका इतना बड़ा है, why are you not doing? ऐसा बहुत दूर है. So no, we do it in a systematic way. So our growth strategy has been more in India and Middle East, and now in Middle East we have restaurants all over India. We have everywhere. So last part, Saudi Arabia was left, so we've just signed and we are opening there very soon. So we'll be doing almost 30 odd restaurants there.
Oh, wow.
So next we are looking at North America. So North America is before Europe. So we are not looking at UK and Europe at the moment. So we opened two in Toronto. We have already opened, and so LA is next.
So we'll be expecting you in California a lot more than hopefully.
Oh no, that is no guarantee of a. So there are restaurants of mine which I've never been to.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, for that matter, owners of Google have not been to my house.
Yeah.
Right?
We can send them if you'd like.
Lovely.
Okay. Awesome. So one question that just came to my mind is you have all these restaurants, and one thing I've always been curious about is what happens at the end of the day when ingredients and even cooked food is left. Do you have a system in place to, in the spirit of Askhaya Patra and making sure
Sure.
food doesn't go to waste, what happens to that food?
So this is a question that I'm asked all the time. So restaurants, sensible, responsible restaurants, treat food the way we treat at our homes.
Mm-hmm.
So no hotel, restaurant wastes food. Okay? It's not. It's like if you have here also, you would not waste. So there are cold rooms, refrigerators. So whatever is used is used. Whatever is left is put to use later. It's not wasted. It's not wasted. It's again the way you would treat it at home. If there is something which is beyond its usage, utility, by whether time, local, whatever,
expiry date,
so you would not use it. So say that's how we treat it. We would not will not waste it.
Fantastic. With that, let's give a huge round of applause to Chef Sanjeev Kapoor and the hardworking team from Akshay Patra, his wife Alyona ji. Food means a lot of things to different people. It can change people's lives, and we are in this room privileged enough to make changes to people's lives. So if you do feel inclined, please learn more about Akshay Patra, find out about their causes. They're excellent management, and there's some really interesting videos on YouTube where you can see how their food is produced. It goes through, their rotis go through like conveyor belt machines, which are just amazing to even watch. And get involved with the cause if you want to. So thank you so much for coming today.
Yeah, thank you very much.